I'm going to share you some of my thoughts and also some thoughts some people else have given me when we've done in the past private hangouts. We basically discuss SEO, we discuss software, that kind of stuff. Now, I'm going to say, first of all, is Ahrefs still good? Yes, it is pretty good in general, but I want to explain some flaws with Ahrefs compared to the past, which Serpstat itself is actually getting, in my thoughts, better more and more. So in the past, it was a very common practice by Ahrefs. You could basically find out all your backlinks, keyword data, kinds of stuff, and traffic metrics, which was really, really good. But I've noticed over the last few years, Ahrefs keeps on adding kind of things which a regular person doesn't really need. I mean, do we really need to know on-page factors for a software? To me, if you understand basic SEO, you should kind of already know it anyway. And regarding the whole anchor text thing you can do in a Ahrefs now, it's really good. Don't dispute that. But anyone who understands basic SEO should already understand the anchor text. So if you already understand basic SEO or more advanced, you should already be able to comprehend the anchor text ratios or anchor text factors in general. And the main point of basically using the Ahrefs to me was to learn the backlinks, the traffic, the keyword rankings. Everything else you can do in Ahrefs, such as internal linking and say finding guest posts or that kind of stuff. I mean, that's good, I suppose, but the main things Ahrefs is meant to be do is find the backlinks, find the keyword data, and traffic. Everything else in Ahrefs is kind of like a novelty or something you don't really need. Because I mean, a normal SEO is going to have lots of software to do these sort of things. You can have one for guest posting, like for example, I got loads that do that sort of stuff. So I don't really need Ahrefs for that. That's not why I'm using it. I mean, can I use it for? Yeah, sure I can. But the things which it's supposed to do is find the backlinks, find the keyword data or keyword rankings, find the traffic. That's it. Everything else in Ahrefs you don't really need. If you understand SEO right, it's still a big part of the Google algorithm, but backlinks. Meaning, if you don't see half the backlinks, which seems to be becoming more and more common with Ahrefs, the more it seems to change things for some reason, I'm not sure. And also the keyword rankings, I've noticed more and more it seems to be wrong. For example, for instance, on one of my sites, it ranks for approximately 500 keywords, according to my Google Search Console. According to Ahrefs, it apparently ranks for only, I think it's 21 at the moment, and it keeps on getting worse. But in my own checks, it's ranking for 500 and the ranking keeps going up. But according to Ahrefs, that's a difference of approximately 480 or one off that, which that doesn't really make much sense. How can Search Console have 500 and Ahrefs only have 21? Compare it to Serpstat when I done the same website. According to them, my site ranks for 160. That is a gigantic amount of difference. Serpstat's keyword ranking data, sorry, compared to Ahrefs. That's a lot of things. Also, as well, for their traffic metric, again, according to them, the site I've got ranks for free, which again is wrong. From what I can see in the Google Search Console, the site itself would be ranking for at least 300 people a month. So that would then be a difference of 297 people. Compare it to Serpstat's traffic metric. According to them, it's ranking for 16, which is not the same, but it's still a big difference between 16 compared to 3. That's a big difference in data. I've also noticed as well, which I always find kind of odd about Ahrefs, when, to my knowledge of Slavic words, I'm pretty sure the founder is Ukrainian by how his surname is spelled, or Russian, it doesn't really matter in this case. But if he is, or his company is, I find it kind of weird and kind of odd that they seem to pay very little attention to Slavic sites. The reason for why I find it kind of weird, Russia, Ukraine, Bulgaria, or other Slavic countries are full of high quality websites. What do I mean by high quality websites? You can quite easily go to Russia for looks, say Yandex, Ukraine, Bulgaria, whatever. You can very easily, without much effort on your part, find sites which are ranking for say 100,000 keywords, more or less, doesn't really matter. So you can basically get a backlink of a site today, tomorrow, whenever, and you will actually experience in some cases a good or decent ranking boost. So, using this logic, why do we not pay attention to Slavic sites? It doesn't make sense. Because, I mean, if they are, I guess, Slavic, should it not make sense to go with Eastern Europe? And Eastern Europe's like full of high quality sites. Because, I mean, if you even know basic SEO, you can find a gigantic of very high quality sites from Russia, Ukraine, Bulgaria, Serbia, Croatia, and so on, or all of our Slavic nations, Poland as well. But we seem to pay very little attention. It's all about UK, America, Canada, that kind of stuff. Meaning, okay, there's some good sites in America, good sites in UK, good sites in Canada, that kind of stuff. But Eastern Europe has got many fantastic websites as well. So I don't really see the logic or point of like saying, yeah, you forget Eastern Europe, let's just stick to West or something like that. Because I mean, it just sort of seems a bit to me silly. Because if you even do a search for anything in say the Russian language, the Ukrainian language, the Bulgarian, Serbian, you can find high quality sites all over. And if you're applying the Ahrefs logic that's all about the West, forget the East, that kind of stuff, it just seems a bit silly to me because Eastern Europe is full of high quality sites. You don't have to be particularly smart to find them. It doesn't take you a lot of effort or skills. You can find them anytime. And I just find it kind of odd that it seemed to be like screw Eastern Europe, that kind of stuff when it comes to. Because that's one of the reasons I was kind of drawn more to Serpstat. And I was also drawn to Serpstat more is the software itself seems to be getting better as a whole. I also spoke to staff who were really friendly, really helpful. I mean, I'll be fair, Ahrefs staffs are really nice. Nice women, nice men, whatever you want to call them. There's good people on both sides, but I just feel in general, Serpstat itself is going to potentially maybe even be better software than Ahrefs in the future because Serpstat, since I first heard of it a couple of years ago, I'll be fair, it's gotten better and better. I even actually spoke to someone quite high authority in the company before, and I was really impressed with how nice he was. I was really impressed when me and him discussed sales, discussed program, whatever. I was really impressed. He basically told me this. He said, hey, so in the next few months we're going to do a big upgrade, so include more Slavic sites. And I thought it's really fantastic because that is what I would love Ahrefs to be able to do. I would love if they had more of a Slavic, Russia, Ukraine, Bulgaria, whatever, database. So I can say, wow, this site's ranking for all these words in Russia. This is ranked for all these words in, say, Croatia or Ukraine, whatever. And I just kind of feel, in regards to Ahrefs, they kind of done this. They made a great software, I don't dispute that, but I kind of feel over time they keep sort of adding things which people don't really need. Because meaning, what I'm saying is truthful to you. All we need to know is what backlinks does the site have? What keyword or keyword phrases does it rank for? Traffic? Anything else we don't really need to know. If someone understands basic SEO or more advanced level SEO, they shouldn't really need to do all these sort of things. I mean, if you really want to spend all day having fun playing with things, checking out all these tests with them, then great, do it. I mean, if you can find, for example, quite easy expired domains in Ahrefs, I mean, that's cool, sure. But when you get so many other softwares already do these sort of things like, say, Scrapebox, Expired Domain Finder, many other ones, is it really a good idea to keep sort of doing things which you don't really need to do or have no really point or value to you doing it? Because I mean, when I'm doing SEO work for Western countries, say Google, Bing, Yannis, it's still very common knowledge that backlinks are important. Traffic, keyword rankings, that's basically it. That's the main things we should pay attention to. What quality backlinks, reference domains, backlinks, traffic, keyword rankings, that's basically it. I mean, if you want to go into things like click-through rates, all the rest of it, sure, great, go for it. But when it comes to software, main things we're trying to check when it comes to some sort of software like, say, Moz, Ahrefs, Serpstat, or something else, we're trying to find out the backlinks, the traffic, the keyword rankings. Everything else in it is semi-pointless if you understand SEO. For example, let's discuss, I may discuss before I end this video, let's talk about content cannibalism, which people made kind of famously. Now, is this a new fact that we only just heard of, a couple of years ago? No, it's been kind of common knowledge in the SEO community for quite a long time. Now, do I agree content cannibalism exists? Yes, I do. But if someone has even common sense when it comes to SEO, they shouldn't be doing these sort of things. If you've got one content, for example, which covers, say, Mazuka honey, you should not have 10, 5, or however many other articles covering it. One is sufficient. One, say, 2,000 word article is sufficient. If you wanted to do, say, a light supporting article, then great. For example, you might do a smaller one, like, say, for argument's sake, 500 words, just covering a small part of Mazuka honey, for example, cover the acne part, but include that would then link to that one link back. That's sufficient. If you're doing things like that, you shouldn't get much of an issue with that area. But when it comes to how we're sort of doing things now regarding the software, we keep sort of adding things that people don't really use or need. Because I mean, everything which Ahrefs has provided, I've already got software which can do it as good or better. For example, let's talk about guest posting. I've got plenty of software I can find out from. I've got my own ones made. I got ones from Russia, I got ones from Ukraine, I got ones from Turkey, and so on, so I don't need it. And regarding internal linking, yes, that's a cool idea, but I've already got software that can do that. Do I really need to look through his list, check this out, say, is that cool, is that not? Probably not. I mean, the health checker doing it, I would be fair, it's pretty cool. I do like that a lot. It's a good idea on Ahrefs in their own right. But in general, I just feel we're trying to add too many things which people don't really need or want. And to share some things before I end this video as well from other people who have now gone from the use of agency accounts and have now gone down to sort of the lowest lit tier account and just bought a Serpstat account instead. So why is that great to do this? From what I've said, the keyword data Ahrefs is getting seems to be getting worse over time. The backlink data again seems to be getting worse. The traffic metrics seems to be sort of the same to worse sometimes. And if people keep adding new and new parts to software, you're going to eventually corrupt it, meaning nothing will work well, or if it does, it only works slightly as good as it could potentially do. And as things like this keep happening, I'm not so sure. Maybe Ahrefs will go back to what it used to be really good at backlink checking, keyword rankings, and so on, these sort of things. Maybe it'll go back to the future, I don't also know. But as things keep going like they're going, as Serpstat itself keeps getting better, to me, I would be inclined to believe that more and more people will stop basically using Ahrefs' main account, the bigger agency account, and just go for a cheaper one. Because if it can't do the basic functions, you shouldn't really have to basically use it or buy it or whatever. I mean, that's what I kind of think. Because, for example, if you understand how search engines work, you can very easily type into Google your site and every site and be able to find the most of the backlinks from what Google, Bing, Yandex, or another search engine provides if you understand what the right codes or terms to type into Google or Bing or Yandex or Yahoo or another search engine. Meaning you can, in theory, if you want to, find the majority of backlinks and just using simple standard Google or Bing, Yandex, or whatever, which is something I feel a lot of people don't realize as well. Anyways, all video. Thanks, bye.